be a great opportunity for me to be working out of South Africa and collaborating with someone from a different environment. And also for me, it has been this constant comprehension around investigating the themes that have really come to shape my practice.
2019.
Oh, yes.
Was the application was in 2019, and we applied like 2 different projects. I mean, this kind of architect of the project is like, we have an artist from Barcelona, we have an artist from Johannesburg. So first, the artist of Barcelona goes to visit the place in Johannesburg, and then the artist, that is what Calvin is doing now, is like visiting Barcelona. I didn't went to Africa, in fact, so it was my first time in South Africa. For me, Johannesburg was the time to understand who we were a little bit. It's like we had the time to see each other and to understand which person we were interacting with and what we wanted to say. Like, was a time to do the meeting and to understand what can we do, what can transform we and I. No?
Being in Barcelona for me has been interesting, has been very peaceful, has given me space to think, to interrogate ideas, and also to be able to actually frame.
We had to do it before pandemics, so yes. Pandemics came, and now we're 2022. From 2019, it has been a long time that the project more or less has been transformed along this period. So the project I presented was about noise and silence, was about trying to understand the landscape of the city. So the project was like being in Barcelona and understand, like create a bank of sounds of what sounds define the city, and then go to Johannesburg and record and go to Johannesburg and record the same sounds, or try to understand through the sounds what is a city. So when I was there, I realized that Calvin was talking about minery. In fact, the 2 projects first time find a connection that was where are the holes, was this question. No?
Yeah. The idea or concept of Joan is this idea of empty spaces, and how do they sound. And here I was working with empty spaces, which are holes, and placing my body at the center of creation of that work. And also he was doing the similar thing in terms of bringing what he loves, which is sound, the idea of sound.
What we have showed is normally the naked process, like, okay, we are now here, and what we did in like to work. So it was like to explain more what was the project about, and trying to find the first impressions about what is going on. And now I think that it has changed in the fact that we have had the time to know each other. In fact,
in South Africa, actually, underneath this mines, it's a whole city. It's a whole city where people drive, where people live, where people survive. But underneath, kilometers down the city, there's a hole in waiting.
We started with the top in the superfight, no?
Yeah.
In the city, and we finally have went to the ground of the city, but in a lot of terms, like for example, in social terms. I mean, what does it mean, like that this whole, that a lot of people is dying now because illness made by minery. So what is the impact that is there in the ground, no, of this city? For me to have this iPhone, this mobile phone, I really need a person to drill the stones and to literally die for this device, because they really get a lot of ills.
For me, I've always been interested in the other layers which are very underneath, which are very dark. And also it starts with Africans with understanding the problems that are the social ills, the things that also we are participating in continually, and finding ways to respond, or perhaps suggest also to the world that we unfortunately will not negotiate our bodies into their systems anymore. I think this project, more than any other thing that we can take out, is it's gonna trigger conversations about where we are as people, what are the social ills, what needs to be responded to. And just to add on it, the reason that I'm always putting these ideas around mining.
I will do a music record with the sounds that we record with Calvin. So I think that in 6 months or 7 months, we will have a music Calvin's body. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, which is a very interesting one. So for me, is to further develop the work itself and see where can it go, and especially into the spaces, almost the world, because it's relevant not only for home, South Africa, but also for Europe and anywhere else in the world.